I'm back. Only here could we just go with the flow, things happen, things don't happen, and everything is just fine. So again, welcome. Welcome to this wonderful day, this Merry Christmas, this Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. My name is Cindie Leitman. I'm your host for today. So welcome all of those here, all of those on Zoom. We welcome you all. Our musician today is Terry O'Hara on the piano. Our audio-visual team is Erik Perrohe and Ronald up there. They're the ones that gave me the high sign to stop and to start again. Our practitioner this morning is Doug Taylor, and Laura Lee Bentel is holding consciousness for us in the back. Today's service is a very special Taize service. Taize comes from France, and it's a service of chanting and prayer and meditation, song. It's very, very beautiful. And we're so delighted that we can offer this to you today. Reverend Karen Linsley, our interim minister, will lead us through the Taize service. Is there anybody here for the first time? If you are, yes, we welcome you. You came at a wonderful time. This is a great service. Okay. So before we start, I just want to tell you that the Center of Spiritual Living is a peaceful, loving, and joyful spiritual community with a shared set of values, principles, and practices. At the core of our belief is the existence of a single source, which we call God, or Spirit. This Spirit inspires, guides, supports, and nurtures our individual awakening and our day-to-day reality. This loving consciousness desires only the highest and greatest good for all of creation. We embody an understanding of our oneness with this source. We are committed to individual transformation and to being a beneficial presence on the planet. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our interim minister, Reverend Karen, to take us through the Taize service.
Good morning, everybody. And I am very happy to be here this morning and be able to participate in this Taize service. Today is Christmas Day. And when we were thinking about what to do for you on Christmas Day, I realized that Christmas is something very special. No matter what our tradition is, Christmas is always something where we want to do something a little different. We want to have something special. And so I suggested we do this Taize service as a way to not only celebrate Christmas, but to introduce some new and wonderful things into the Center for Spiritual Living-Tacoma community. So that's what we're offering today, and a little of the background of why we're offering it. A Taize service is meant to inspire peace, and it features three common elements that Cindie already mentioned. Today, we're going to do readings from people. Each person who has volunteered for the Taize service today has selected a reading, and I'm really excited to say that most of their readings, many of them, they've written themselves. And they've written them themselves because they got inspired after or during a class they were taking at a Center for Spiritual Living. So I think that's very wonderful, very wonderful. After each person does their reading, a song is going to be played. The song has been chosen by the readers. Some of them are going to be played by Terry. Some of them are going to be recorded music that will be played there in the sanctuary. And after each song is played, we are going to meditate for 5 minutes. And I have my handy little singing bowl here. And so at the beginning of each meditation, I will gong the bowl like that. That's our signal to just breathe, go in silence for 5 minutes. And at the end of the meditation, I will ring it again. I'm going to ask each reader to come up at the end of each meditation. So your readers, you know the order that you're reading in, and I'll give it again in a minute as a reminder that when the gong rings to end the meditation, quietly step up to the microphone and begin your reading. And then we'll repeat that until each person has had a chance to do their reading and have their song played. So the first person to step up will be Vicky. She has an original poem written by her that was inspired by Foundations class. Her song is Emmanuel, played by Darlene Kildenhoven. After Vicky comes Toni. After Toni comes Jessika. After Jessika comes Justin on Zoom. And after Justin comes Cindie. And I see that Vicky is ready. And so I will turn it over to her. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend Karen. In this season of darkness and light, of endings and beginnings, let us reflect on creation and our place in it. Here is my original poem, One Thought. One thought. Galaxies swirl through darkness we cannot fathom. Stars glitter like fireflies in God's midnight garden. Life in every essence breathes God's breath, earth and air, fire and water, mud to mountains, and verdant vegetation in between. Wondrous wildlife, winged ones and four-footers, finned ones, and two-footers who forget to bow. One thought, an eternal law and love and life. Faith, as you believe, carries us beyond limitation into a sacred imaginal realm. One thought moving through the quantum space of intention. A resonance embraces us, merges with us at the threshold where the all dwells, in us, as us, through us, is us. One thought, liminal space shimmers its presence, blesses and conceals, responds and reveals. You are that within me. I am that within you. We are that eternal pulse of the divine mind. One thought. One.
And now I would like to ask Toni to come up with a reading titled My Christmas Wish. And the song to follow is O Holy Night, played by Terry.
Hi, good morning. On this day and forevermore, my Christmas dream I give to you are peace and love given in abundance, togetherness and holiday redundance. The ringing of the Salvation Army bell brings cheer and joy on this Noel. The winter solstice chases away the darkness, the chill and the cold, returning them to starkness. Merriment be with you the coming year all the way through. Cherish the endearing and love it true. I wish for the children to be safe and secure, from this day onward, so clean and pure. To make new memories to forever hold, covered in sunshine, lined in gold. I wish for the age to be young once again, if only for a day to be free from pain. Happiness brought from your regal reflections of your offsprings found in cognitive collections. May everyone be jovial and spry, the hope for celebration on this euphoric night. One becomes broke and depressed because one puts up airs perpetrating Santa Claus. Their happiness from your pain and paper cuts, scotch tape, wrapping paper, ribbon bows, and such. The mess to clean up afterwards, the dismay, is well worth the occasion on this special day. The love that is both superficial and real, the holiday glow is so nice to feel. Listening to the songs from the caroling choir, the joy from the glee is warmer than any fire. Cookies and eggnog, stockings with bulging impressions, the joyous sounds from children receiving their concessions. Squeaking and squealing with pure excitement, with each discovery raises heartwarming incitement. The room is filled with smiling faces. This is the day for mercy and graces. May your spiritual foundations be strong. May your bellies be filled with virgin eggnog. Another day sobered, another dry miracle. I am no longer a holiday spectacle. Shame and regret come back another day. May you get lost in a land so far away. Forget the problems in society and revel in the seasonal gaiety. May the gayness of the day bring to you closeness to those who are far in lieu of their distance. Think of them often. May everyone's heartache soften. My dream for you is one I cannot have. I can have never, not in the present time, maybe not ever. The choices I've made make me able to give the gifts that I wish upon you. Celebrate in your Christmas time hullabaloo. Winter satisfaction covers all who. Spread cheer and happiness without a doubt. So edify and reach out. Lift your neighbors and the ones you judge. Pointing fingers only bring about a grudge. Embrace similarities, push away your differences. Put on a happy face, you'll see what the difference is. This, the season of giving, charm is a gift we're receiving. A smile is the best gift we can give. Give it plenty, live and let live. This is the season to live for the new. My holiday wish for all of you is that no one ever has a need unmet, that everyone has nothing to fret. May your chestnuts be roasted fine, candy canes intertwined. May your hearts melt for your fellows, like hot cocoa and marshmallows. May you enjoyably savor the holiday foul flavor. Enjoy those things you enchant, but don't forget those who can't.
Thank you very much. Terry? Next up is Jessika. She's reading A Star in the East, followed by a song called Walking in the Air.
Just to let you know, after the Star in the East, there'll just be a small composition that I'll sing a cappella, and then we'll go into the song. So the story is The Star in the East. Once upon a time, many years ago, in a land of rolling hills, it was a December day, and a young man, a freshman in college, was very down about his life. He had just failed everything, he thought, listing everything. My girlfriend just dumped me, flunked my finals, my parents are disappointed, and my drinking buddies left me here in the silence of the dorm, not even saying goodbye. The only thing he could think of to do was to strap on some cross-country skis, grab his parka and hat, and get out of the dorm, leave this life as he knew it, the future uncertain. He started down the hill from the dorm to the downtown, lit with cheery lights, Santa and reindeer, snowmen and smiling elves. But nothing about this was happy. It meant reliving the crushing expectations from his parents, his professors, from himself. The sadness engulfed him as he put one pole in front of the other and just kept going. He turned right at the light, went north, trying to find some true peace, some sanctuary, some relief from the storm inside. Relentless, he passed the grocery, the coffee shop, the Chinese restaurant, the site of the last date with his girlfriend. He pressed on, mostly looking at his feet, a kind of penance, a way of working off his debt to society, to his parents whose faces appeared again before him, and he felt regret like a stinging monster turning and tossing in his gut. Who knows how much time went by? He suddenly looked up, and with a violent sense of doom, knew he was lost. It was now dark. He could not see the rolling hills in front of him, and then it really set in. His parka and his jeans weren't doing the job. He looked around and couldn't see the lights from town, this panic, this day before cell phones. There was no help, and if he screamed, no one would hear. In the deafening silence, it was just him and his chattering teeth. No food, no water, no flashlight. Hope against hope, the instinct to press on, get off the trail, climb up a hill. Hope a light would appear and he would dance like a shaman in front of it. Some redemptive miracle would appear. Someone would save him. He kept that prayer under his breath as he crept up the slippery hill, feeling at any moment he could be Sisyphus tumbling down, falling and flailing over and over again. But there was no other choice. The roulette wheel had spun its last chance. He was against the wind. Then something twisted inside him. Instead of remorse, some kind of strength flamed up inside of him, and he was able to bend his frozen toes and crack his fingers to play the ace up his sleeve. Then at the crest of the hill, there it was, a tiny glow of light. At 3 o'clock, an oasis in the snow. He didn't know if he could make it. In this place of no time or space, it felt like somebody else took over his arms and legs. The closer he got, he saw the light was not just one bright light, but a variety of colored lights that formed a star. It was perched on a tall building, a grain elevator, and behind it, a sole light that lit the farmhouse. He stole down that hill, somehow making it to the front door. The firelight inside was still glowing, and not being able to knock, he threw his body against the door, thumping it. First not very hard, then again, crying this primordial yelp of survival, but it came out of his throat like a sharp squeak. Then the door opened, and the light was a semi-silhouette of a farm couple with bewilderment in their eyes. He could hardly hear the man say, "Come in." His frozen body felt the warmth of relief hitting him like a wave, and the young man started to sob. There, said the woman, come by the fire. The young man could not yet sit, so the man stood next to him and held him upright. The woman ran to the kitchen to put the kettle on and threw blankets in the dryer to warm them. The man comforted him during the painful thawing process, and soon the woman hung the warm blankets off the young man's shoulders. We'll get you to a warm bath soon, she said, but tell us, what brought you here? Who are you? He told his story, the sadness, the troubles, and the man and woman's eyes that looked at him were deep with compassion. Son, it's okay, you're going to be all right. Can you call anybody? The young man grimaced as he shook his head no. Just rest here and things will be better in the morning. She held his cheek as she said this. With tea and soup, a bath, he fell into a deep sleep. And the young man's dreams whispered to him, remember when you saw that star? It was to the right of you. It was to the east. You followed the star of the east to find your Christmas miracle, your new life. Be well. The story I told you is based on a true event. The hills are the Palouse Hills of eastern Washington and northern Idaho. The young man, a Washington State University student, who was out skiing after finals and got lost. The two people at the door were my parents, who took this young man in and took care of him. And when my parents told this story to me, it made me recall the ending of O. Henry's story, A Gift of the Magi. But in the last word to the wise of these days, let it be said that of all who gave gifts, these two were the wisest. Of all who give and receive gifts, such as they are the wisest. Everywhere they are the wisest. They are the Magi. Oh, Christmas time, full of joy and full of rhyme, carols sung around the tree, kindred hearts tied peacefully. Oh, Christmas time, oh, Christmas time, oh, Christmas time, bring back the wonder of all times. Carry the boughs of gratefulness, deck the halls with happiness. Oh, Christmas time, oh, Christmas time, oh, Christmas time, fill my heart and make it shine. Every day this coming year, let me extend the hopeful cheer of Christmas time, of Christmas time.
And next up is Justin, who wants to introduce his reading and song himself.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. I'm speaking to you from Zoom today. I guess the combination of Hanukkah and Christmas, my gift was to quarantine. I've had COVID and I'm much better and I'm very excited to be here. When Reverend Karen introduced this service, I was like Arnold Horshack of Welcome Back, Carter. I raised my hand immediately and said, oh, I got a song. And I immediately sent that to her via email. But then I started having second thoughts. I began to think, wow, everyone on Christmas is going to do something sacred. Is my choice sacred enough? And then I started thinking I should have gone with my second choice, which is It Is Well With My Soul, written in 1873, a Christian hymn that when I sing, it just fills my heart with peace. But I looked up sacred, and sacred is defined as the power, being, or realm understood by religious persons to be at the core of existence and have a transformative effect on their lives and destinies. Now, I'm not a religious person, but one thing I am clear that I am one with spirit. Therefore, I have chosen this song and this reading because it's sacred to me and has had a transformative effect on my life and destiny. The song was released in November 1st of 1988 and originally performed in 1983 in a Broadway musical called La Cage. Now, give you context, in 1988, I was 21 years old, had just graduated from a very religious institution, Bob Jones University, and lived in Atlanta, Georgia. Our very first gay pride that I participated in that year was less than 2,000 people marching up Peachtree Street. And we were met with signs of disgust. We were eggs thrown at us by many people in different religions. And I never understood what about me was so dangerous and so disliked. Also, if you keep in mind in 1988, as a gay man, to even love someone was very dangerous. It was in the height of the AIDS crisis, an epidemic, and my friends were dropping left and right. Nobody knew what was happening. All we knew, it just was dangerous to be me. Fortunately, we had a safe sanctuary in the Religious Science International at the Woodruff Arts Center in Atlanta, Georgia, led by the Reverend J. Kennedy Schultz, who consistently and constantly assured us men that we were one with God, we were not a mistake, and we were here for a purpose. So the reading I'm going to read to you today, it takes a lifetime to become the best that we can be. We have not the time nor the right to judge each other. It is one life, and there is no return and no deposit. One life, so make sure you like what's in your closet. I am what I am. I don't want praise. I don't want pity. I bang my own drum. Some thinks it noise, but I think it's pretty. And so what if I love each sparkle and each bangle? Why not try to see things from a different angle? Your life is a shame till you can shout out, I am what I am. I am what I am. And what I am needs no excuses. I deal my own deck, sometimes the ace and sometimes the deuces. It's my life that I want to have a little pride in, my life, and it's not the place I have to hide in. Life is not worth a damn till you can shout out, I am what I am. I am useful. I am true. I am somebody. I am as good as you. So please, Erik and Ron, when you play this song by Gloria Gaynor, I Am What I Am, released November 1st, 1988, please turn up the volume. And I ask everyone in the sanctuary to please stand up, because I'm going to invite you to allow your body to move to the music as an ultimate divine expression of movement and oneness with spirit. Dancing to music is probably the one activity that has saved me over and over through many, many years. Go ahead and play.
Next up is Pam, and she's going to be doing a reading written by her and inspired by a Center for Spiritual Living class that she took. Her reading is called I Believe in Peace, and the song is Claire de Lune, played by Terry.
Good morning, everyone. I wrote this, I believe it was in 2014 in one of the classes I was taking. I believe in peace. While engaged in deep thinking for a better world, my thoughts always lead me to the question, will there ever be world peace? I absolutely accept the declaration that the journey for peace begins with me. Our teaching has helped me to find that amazing place of inner peace. Through prayer and meditation, I have discovered the beauty of an inner quietness where I find joy in the comforting space, where feelings of sadness and doubt are no more. Rather, a joyous feeling toward myself and others. My desire is for understanding and acceptance with every person on earth. If my desire is strong and positive, I take joy that it will spread and become the desire of others until it reaches the minds of all. For nothing is impossible with God. I strive to demonstrate kindness and understanding toward each person in my life. For if we dare to become closer to our fellow human beings, we will see all of God's children in a new and loving light. I affirm that my thoughts and actions are of love, brotherhood, and peace. I strive to demonstrate compassion toward all living things. Every day I am closer to God. Every day my will to do the right thing becomes stronger. To cultivate the joy of human relationships so that all people of every culture, of every ethnicity, live in a world of peace. I affirm to begin each day with thoughts of peace, to continue thinking thoughts of peace throughout each precious day. I affirm to each day and to end each day with thoughts of peace. And from our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, I am resolved to see the good in everyone and in every event. Thank you.
Next up is Cindie, our last reader for today, but certainly not least. She is going to be reading the Aramaic version of the Lord's Prayer. And her song is called A Mother's Prayer by Jackie Ivanko and Susan Boyle.
Hang in there, guys. We're almost done. So this reading is from the Aramaic translation by Neil Douglas Klotz in his work Prayers of the Cosmos. And I wanted to mention the fact that it's Aramaic because that is the language that Jesus spoke. And that seems important for today. So this is the Lord's Prayer. O birther, Father, Mother of the cosmos, focus your light within us. Make it useful. Create your reign of unity now through our fiery hearts and willing hands. Help us love beyond our ideals and sprout acts of compassion for all creatures. Animate the earth within us when we feel the wisdom underneath supporting all. Untangle the knots within so that we can mend our hearts' simple ties to each other. Don't let surface things delude us, but free us from what holds us back from our true purpose. Out of you, the astonishing fire, returning light and sound to the cosmos. Amen. I'd like to close the meditation now. Reverend Karen, is there something that you'd like to say before we do the offertory?
Thank you. That's it. Just thank you. I hope you all have very much enjoyed our Taize presentations this morning. I know I have. And Cindie, it's all yours.
Thank you. So I'd like to ask the ushers to come forward, please. And everybody, please join me in saying the offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is. just one announcement. Just to remind you that New Year's Eve, Reverend Drew will be here, and his message will be Reframe, Release, and Renew. That starts at 6:30. And after that, we're going to have a game night. So if you want to stay for game night, bring a game of your choice. And now I'm going to turn it over to Doug for our healing prayer.
Thank you. Well, I don't know about you guys here at home, but I feel full. Kind of like after that Thanksgiving dinner, right? Just really full of spirit. And it reminds me about this caring, forgiving, loving community that we are in and co-creating together. Last night, after my bloopers at the Christmas Eve service, I went home and was reflecting on my experience. And of course, I had all those human condition, egoistic self-criticism, feelings of shame, hurt, and so forth. And so I had my meditation before bed. And at 2 o'clock, I woke up like with a Scrooge-like epiphany and said, you know, this darkness really does have a light in it. It's amazing that we have light in our darkness, in our lives, if we can turn to that light and be aware of it. So I invite you briefly to close your eyes and just take a deep breath. Be in this moment and just savor that full feeling of spirit in God that we experienced here today with the music, the personal sharing of gifts, all the help we received in constructing and co-creating this service. And I know that here today there is one life, and that is God's life. And it is perfect, and it is my life and your life right here and right now. And knowing that this is true and so, I can say thank you, thank you, thank you to life, to spirit, to God, to goodness, and release these words unto the law, knowing that it is done for me and each and every one of us. And together we can say, and so it is.
So we'd like to close with our peace song, so please stand, reach across the aisle, take somebody's hand.